economic development has to take into account development in the rural areas. But what we normally equate rural areas with is agriculture. But there is a huge part of the rural economy which is not agriculture, which is called the non-farm economy. And several international studies have shown that the non-farm economy is a very critical element of development of the rural sector and by extension of the entire economy. If we take Bihar, for example, it is primarily agrarian. So where the process of development takes into account only the agriculture until now. But slowly we are seeing generation of non-agricultural income and employment even in these parts of India like in Bihar. Some studies that have been undertaken on India, say about 10 years ago, had pointed to this trend, emerging trend, and also pointed to the fact that infrastructure and especially roads are a critical element of development of both the farm and the non-farm sectors. Well, both the farm sector and the non-farm sector benefits. The farm sector benefits in a very direct way, because if you produce more food, then you have to transport that food to the nearest agricultural mandi or area where you can sell that crop. This is particularly true of perishables, because if you do not have proper roads or bridges, the perishable production is low, because the farmer takes a conscious decision that I can't sell it in the market or I can't take it to the market, so why produce it? So that's the very direct impact on agriculture. In the non-agricultural part, it is a little bit indirect. So if you have roads, the first sector that develops is transportation. Now, as a new road opens up, you will find small entrepreneurs buying small goods vehicles to transport goods, again from the agricultural sector to the markets. Moreover, it creates ancillary industries. For example, more number of tractors creates more number of tractor machine repair workshops. So one infrastructure like roads and bridges opening up involves creation of jobs which are not just direct but also indirect. And this impacts both the productivity in the non-farm sector, employment and productivity in the non-farm sector, as well as in the farm sector. This is the most critical linkage that develops. Well, it might take years and decades, but depending on the pace of development, you see, a road which is not completely built or does not connect two major locations, say within a district, has no importance. So if a road is half built, it is as good as a non-built road, right? So in a sense, you have to do that whole road building exercise completely, so that 2 points A and B are connected. Now that can take anywhere from 1 year to 5 years. So if you want a sustainable pace of growth, you have to have a strategy where you build roads quickly. Second point, and more importantly, maintain the roads. See, building a road is half the story. Maintenance is the other, probably more than half the story. So in Bihar, what has happened over the last 5 years that I have seen is that both the construction and maintenance of both of the roads and bridges have been significantly improved. The most talked about case is China, and before that Japan and Korea. For example, in Japan, in Tokyo, they built tremendous number of highways and expressways. The second is the classic case of opening up of the American Midwest and all that through that Route 66, which connects east and west of the US. In Latin America, which is not very known, there was, during the 1950s and 60s, there was huge road construction in places like Brazil, which opened up the Amazon basin and Amazon region. So there have been instances where especially roads have given a very big boost to the economy, to the economic development, and to several sectors, and not only agriculture or farm, but also across the whole economy.